I'm Sarai.
And I'm Haley.
And this is Seamwork Radio. Welcome back to Seamwork Radio, where we share practical ideas for building a creative process so you can sew with intention and joy. Today, we've got a special Sewing Roundup episode for you, where we talk about the things we're making, what we're excited about, what new things we're trying, and answer some listener questions. All right, Haley, we're going to start with a listener question today, which comes from Marcy. What is your favorite type of accessory to sew? I'm looking for ideas between bigger sewing projects. You want to start us off? What's your favorite accessory to sew?
It depends on, I have a few that I like to sew. If I want something like super fast, I'll make a scrunchie. I've been having fun making like novelty ones lately with like binding and trims and experimenting with using like 3 pieces. So it's like more of like a triangular type shape kind of thing, like a gusset almost. So that's like my quick and easy, can kind of like improv thing that I like to sew. I love a tote bag, a lined tote bag. And then if I want something that's like a little bit meatier, I like sewing aprons, especially for gifts for people.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
I use our Alex apron pattern a lot. And sometimes I'll line it. I'll make it reversible with a pocket on each side. That's kind of fun. It doesn't need a ton of fabric. It's good for those like 1.25 yard cuts you have in your stash.
Yeah, and it's great for those fancy fabrics like linen that you might have that just look so good for aprons.
Yeah, you can like really make it elevated or like very novelty, which is fun.
Yeah, I have a novelty apron myself.
Yeah, every gal needs one.
Yeah, Ken gave it to me and it's got black cats all over it.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, I like to make an apron. I feel like that would be a great thing to sew right now for holiday gifts. And just kind of get a head start on it.
Yeah, totally.
And I feel like I would like to sew more scrunchies because I wear them all the time, but I don't sew them all that often. And Janine, who helps us out with our video shoots, she has one that's just huge, like a really mega scrunchie and a really pretty color. And it's so cool. I want to make one like that.
Is it in the cheater print?
No, it's like a blue. It's like an aqua, really pretty aqua blue.
Yeah.
It's really pretty.
Totally. I made her an enormous scrunchie a while ago, but it's a different one.
Oh, that would be nice in a cheater print, though.
Yeah.
So it looks quilted.
It's really cute. Yeah, that's a fun, like, gifty one. I have, like, a jar of them on my bedside table.
Yeah.
That I use, like, every night. And that's, like, a fun, like, ooh, which one can I wear that's going to match my pajamas or not?
That's smart. I always just pull out whichever one is close by. They end up all over the place.
It's like my tiny ounce of vanity.
My favorite thing to sew, well, you mentioned tote bags. That's one of my favorite things to sew because they're so useful. I have a lot of tote bags, but I'm always using them. I bring them back and forth through my sewing shed with stuff all the time. I tote them to work, for groceries, all kinds of stuff. So that's one I like because I like things that you can use every day and that you see all the time.
Yeah.
I think that's a really fun accessory to sew. I like making pillows. I don't know if you'd count that as an accessory, but it's a small project.
Home accessory.
Yeah, home accessory. That's a fun one to sew. Napkins too, but those do take a while because you want to make a whole set of them. So I like making pillows just because there's so much, again, you get to see them every day and there's so much impact, especially if it's a cool print or something or beautiful color. So those are some of my favorites. Another one I really like making are just various kinds of zipper pouches, zipper bags, especially quilted ones. It's a great way to use up scraps. You can patchwork things together and just make a cute little quilted, like a zip pouch for makeup or anything like that.
Yeah.
And those also make really, really nice gifts. I made some for gifts last holiday season. And they came out so cute and they didn't really take that much time. So that's a fun one.
We should make a little like pack of Sarai and Haley's favorite accessory patterns.
Yeah.
It'd be so fun.
We'll be making a video soon on gifts to sew.
Oh, cool.
So we can incorporate it into that video. So you guys can keep an eye out for that one. We do that every year. We did one last year and people love it. So it's just, I really like sewing gifts. I think it's really fun, but you always run out of time. So you need those things that are going to be quick and easy at the same time.
Because if you're like me, you say you're going to start early and then you don't.
Yeah, you just have too many other projects you want to do. Well, if you have a question for us for a future episode, you can leave it for us in a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, and we'll answer it in a future episode. You could also leave it on the community if you're a Seamwork member. We have a thread there you can go to and leave your questions there, and we'll see those as well.
Cool. Well, now we're going to play a game of What Would You Sew?
All right.
So, Sari, if you were making a simple shift dress right now, what would you sew?
Ooh, this is a good question. So I just placed an order from the fabric store in New Zealand. I bought some merino wool, which is what they specialize in, but they were also having a sale on dead stock fabric.
Oh, cool.
Everything was 40% off. So I bought some, and I got this, even though it's not really in season anymore, but it's this white linen with these giant pink roses on it. That are yeah, they're kind of scattered. So there's a lot of negative space in it. It's beautiful. And I think that would make a really, really nice shift dress. The two things I was thinking about making with it were either a shift dress or the Joss pants, which I think would also be really like statement pants for summer. That would be really fun, maybe next spring. But I think a shift dress would show it off really nicely because the print is so large and it's got so much white space in it that you need something kind of simple to balance out a print like that, I think. So that seems like a good choice for it. What about you?
I was also thinking some kind of print because that's where I immediately go when I think of a shift dress because it's such a great like blank canvas for showcasing something like that. Since we're like in the fall season, I think I would do a pinafore style shift dress and like a plaid. Would be really fun. I think that reed, which is one of our sewing patterns, it's like a simple shift dress that has a high neck in the front and the V-neck in the back. I was thinking recently that would make a really cute pinafore. And you have like very minimal seams. You have a center front and a center back seam. So it'd be good for practicing matching plaid in a very low stakes kind of way. But yeah, like a cool color, like a green or an orange or something to like add a little color and texture.
Yeah. Okay, I have to change my answer now. The reason is because I am making a shift dress. I have one in my sewing queue right now. When you said pinafore, it jogged my memory. I'm making the Bryn dress.
Oh, perfect.
Coming up. So I'm making like a pinafore style dress, and I'm doing it in a wool tweed, like a very heavily textured wool tweed, and it's various shades of kind of reddish brown and cream, and it's even got a little bit of pink in it. It's really, really beautiful. And
that'd be so cute.
Yeah, I'm planning to layer it with like a long sleeve t-shirt underneath, and it's going to be really warm, lined, of course, since it's wool. So that's what I'm actually making. So you can ignore my other answer.
That's your spring answer, and this is your fall winter
we'll save that answer for spring. This one is my fall winter answer.
I love a shift dress. I like it because I feel like it never goes out of style.
Yeah, and the Bryn dress is nice. I chose it because it has French darts. It does not have a center front seam, so there's no interruption of the texture of the fabric. And then it has French darts, which I think looks really good with a impactful fabric because it doesn't interrupt the line very much.
Yeah, that'll look great. And it has this scoop neckline, which I think gives you some options for like button-ups and sweaters and pairing different necklines.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'd look really great with a bow blouse, like a pussy bow blouse or something like that. Would be really pretty. All right. And so that's what you would sew. So what are you sewing right now?
Oh, yes. So what I'm sewing right now, as we're recording this, this is airing in the fall, but we're like approaching fall right now. I am sewing a Daphne dress by BF Patterns, which is Blackbird's pattern line. And it's kind of a bridge garment for me because I think it'll be really cute in the fall with like cardigans and boots and things like that. And then in terms of what I'm going to sew next.
Wait, will you describe it? So
yeah,
if
totally.
people aren't familiar.
So it's a kind of a classic style yoke. Like I always think of like the 1970s. It has a square neckline and a yoke and then a gathered dress.
Oh, cool.
It has a bunch of like different views. I think there's a top view, a dress view. I think there's an option that has like a drawstring or an elastic waist. I'm making mine with a free waist. And I'm making the sleeveless version, but I'm pretty sure there's a version with sleeves as well. So I'm working on my muslin right now, and I'm kind of like waffling between if I want to do a little plaid. So it's like a little more autumnal, or if I want to do something a little bit like more neutral that can transcend seasons.
If you did a plaid, would you cut it on the bias, like for the yoke or anything like that?
I think I would cut everything on the straight of grain because the dress is gathered.
You have to worry about matching or anything.
I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
So it's a great opportunity to use a plaid. I like to selectively choose my plaid moments.
Yeah, no sleeves. So you don't have to worry about matching there either. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
like
choice.
I'm a lazy plaid girl. What about you? What are you sewing right now, Sari?
Okay, so what I'm sewing at this particular moment is not clothing. So I'll tell you guys about that first. I'm making new shades, new Roman shades for our house. So I've probably mentioned this on the podcast before, but our cat Duke loves to destroy the window shades in our house. And he has destroyed now 3 window shades in our house. So we used to have one of our dogs, when she was a puppy, we had a crate underneath our bedroom window. And we have these blinds, I guess, like wooden blinds in our bedroom. And he would jump on top of the crate and chew on the cords. And he chewed through. So it's been probably a year and a half where we've had broken blinds in our bedroom because I hate sewing Roman shades because they're really a lot of work to make. And then I promised Ken I would make matching ones for his office, which has a window exactly the same size. So I've had the fabric sitting around for a year and a half, and I'm finally getting around to making them. And I'm just taking it step by step because it is quite a process. There's a lot of measuring. There's a lot of materials. You have to buy a lot of things. We have to go to the hardware store on Thursday and get a bunch of wood and things. So it's kind of a pain, but I'm doing it, and I think they're going to look really awesome when they're done.
What are you sewing them in?
So the ones for our bedroom, they're both kind of a like an upholstery fabric, like a canvas fabric. And the ones in our bedroom have this really cool kind of oak leaf print with little acorns and oak leaves all over it, like kind of scrolly. And very packed print. And it's in shades of pink and red, like deep pink and red on a kind of a natural linen background. Cute. Actually, the fabric might be linen, but it's a heavy linen. And then the ones that are going in Ken's office, it's like a cream and gray and maybe even a little bit of blue plaid, like a large scale kind of open, light colored plaid. And that looks really cool too. I think they're both going to look really awesome once we get them up. And the thing is, they won't be destroyed this time because the dog crate is gone. And plus Roman shades have the cords on the inside closer to the window. So it's harder to get to for a bad cat. And actually just a couple weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, he destroyed another shade in my office. He jumped on top of, we had our windows open from the top and the bottom, and we had the top of it open. So he got attracted by the open window and he jumped up there and chewed through that cord as well. So he went on the wall of shame at the shade repair place. I think I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast before, but they have a wall of shame there for all the cats and then a few dogs, but mostly cats, who have destroyed all the shades that people bring in. And I actually captured a picture of him in the process of destroying the shade. Like he was still up on the window.
Did you bring it?
And yeah, they printed it out and they put it up and they said it was their best picture that they had because the cat was actually in the act of destruction.
when I worked at a fabric store, we sold buttons like fabric stores do. And there was this guy who was in there like once a month buying new buttons for his duvet cover because his dog would like nibble them off. And so he'd like walk in the door and I'd be like, yeah, 1-inch buttons over here.
Oh, that's funny. That seems more of a cat thing in our household, nibbling on buttons. And whenever we have laundry on the bed, the cats are going for the buttons and my bras. They're obsessed with the straps for my bras, both of them.
Oh, I'm very thankful to have an old lazy cat right now.
Oh, yeah. Mine are the opposite. They're young and full of beans.
Yep.
And so that's what I'm making right at this moment. But I do have a few other things. So I've cut out a cardigan. I'm making the fig cardigan.
Oh, cute.
Which I'm doing in that brown. Well, I did one in brown merino wool. We have a video up about it on the YouTube channel. It's all about how to sew a cardigan. So if you guys want to check that out, I go through the whole process. It's so easy. Do it in 10 steps. It's very simple. So I made that, and then I'm going to be making another one, also merino wool. And this one is kind of the color is called lemongrass. So it's kind of a bright chartreusey olive color. Which is not a usual color for me. So I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to look really great with all the brown stuff I'm planning to wear over the fall.
Oh, I love that color. I feel like it works really well with muted colors and with like brighter colors for spring. I was thinking about sewing a fig. I don't have a very strong plan for my next project because I haven't quite laid out all of my fall sewing yet.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it because it's so fast. That cardigan is just really easy to put together, and it looks great. If you guys are interested in making a cardigan that's very lightweight and layerable and still warm, I do recommend merino wool jersey, which is what I used for it. It's soft, it's warm. You can put it over things, you can put it under things, you can wear it as a top. And I don't know how long it would take to sew if you weren't filming it, because obviously filming it makes it last longer. But I think you could probably finish it in probably 3 or 4 hours, including cutting. So very fast and easy to sew.
Well, now that we've talked about all of our exciting projects, which makes me want to add more things to my sewing queue and go to the fabric store website and buy merino wool.
Well, I will warn you, I did have to pay customs fees / tariffs. I don't even know what it is. DHL just asked for more money when it got here. So that is one thing to keep in mind. But I think it's worth it. Their fabrics are the merino wools are just beautiful.
Yeah, totally. They have the best. Sari, what's something new that you're trying lately?
Well, one thing that I'm doing lately that I'm really enjoying is I'm doing a little bit of drawing and painting in the morning. So I'm trying to learn more about watercolor. I haven't really played a lot with watercolors. So I pulled out a watercolor set I bought a while back, and I got some new paintbrushes, and I found some watercolor paper at home. And then I got this book on watercolor flowers. And what I like about it is that rather than teaching you to draw and then paint more realistic watercolor flowers, it's more expressive. So it's more kind of a little bit more loose and flowing. And it just feels good to do that in the morning before I do anything else, just to kind of give my hands and my brain a chance to engage with each other in a different way than they're going to be for the rest of the day, which is a little bit more, computer time and sometimes cerebral. So I've been really, really enjoying that in the morning. Plus, you get to play with color, and there's something just very, very soothing about it. So I've been doing that for just 15 minutes in the morning. And the great thing about watercolor, which I can recommend to people, is that it's very easy to clean up and it's very easy to take it out. And I bought a little one of those little portable palettes that have, the pans of watercolor in them. So it's not messy at all. Really, really easy thing to do just for a few minutes, as opposed to some other forms of painting where there's a lot of work involved just in prepping your space and cleaning everything up afterwards. So I'm really enjoying that. What about you?
Mine's actually kind of similar. I've been I'm a checklist person. I like start my day always by making like a list of all the things professionally and personally that I want to accomplish. And I like that practice. It's very soothing to my type A brain. But I was feeling like it was very, it was centering like output. And I was reflecting on how that didn't feel like the best way to start my day.
Yeah.
Because I already like have personal struggles around like my value being tied in with my output. So I decided I was going to like piggyback on that habit. And instead of just making my list, which I still make, I'm not going to stop doing that. I spend like a little bit of time to do like little micro journaling prompts. And I have like a little list that I have taped up in my work area. And I just like with questions, and I just answer a question. And I do that to start my day. And then I do it as I'm wrapping up my day as well. Because I always revisit my to-do list and then start my to-do list for the next day at the end of my day. So it's been nice and a little bit like, I think it's like a little bit more centering.
Yeah, I hear that. I'm the same way. One thing that I've noticed that I'm trying to work through lately is I was telling Jen the other day, I actually sometimes feel more stressed on the weekends than I do during the week, because I feel like everything is very structured during the week and I have my to-do lists and I've got these practices in place to kind of manage everything. And then on the weekends, there's so much that I want to do. And I end up making these massive to-do lists, and then I just get stressed out about them. And so I'm trying to find other ways to manage my free time, my quote unquote free time, which is, somewhat free time, somewhat I need to do chores and things around the house. And have that not feel overwhelming. And, normally to-do lists are a big way to do that for me, but lately I've just noticed that there's a lot of stress around that in the home.
Yeah. Yeah. Something that we talk about in my family on Friday night when we always have family dinner, as we talk about like the weekend and the things we have to do. We got to go swim lessons. There's all the must-dos. And then we go around the table and talk about the things, pick one thing we'd like to do. And I started doing it to like teach my girls. Frankie's like 16 months. She has no idea what's going on. But like to teach Charlie that like, that everybody's needs in the family are equally as important and everybody's needs are different. And it's been like a really nice way for me personally to be like, okay, what's something I can like choose to do? And it's not always like something big. Sometimes it's like, I want to paint my nails.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like a nice practice. And then there's like very little pressure because I'm like, there's one thing.
Yeah.
There's one thing.
Well, I think that's the key, because a practice that I've found really helpful in my work life is, so I always have a big to-do list every day. Not always, but a lot of times I have a big to-do list for my day with a lot of little things to do. And I have a little pad next to my computer where I just write down the 3 main things. And if I check those off, I feel really good. And that helps me to focus my time throughout the day. And I fit in, some of the other smaller tasks here and there, but they're not as vital. Or sometimes a small task will make it onto the list. I have to do this one thing. I have to order new medication today or whatever it is. So that's something that I think has taught me that just putting those constraints on yourself, even for things you want to do, not just for the things you have to do, but also for the things you want to do, and making those choices for yourself. I think that's where a lot of stress comes in, is you don't want to make the choice between the things you have to do, the things you want to do, all the things you want to do.
Yeah.
So that's a lesson that I'm trying to internalize a little bit more.
Yeah, totally. Same. I'm internalizing it and also trying to like teach it early on to my children.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a tough one. I think that's probably true for a lot of our listeners too, because I think if you're a creative person you just have a lot of ideas and there's a lot of things that you'd like to spend your time on.
Mm-hmm.
And, sewing is one of them. Knitting is one of them for me. Like other household things, cooking. I made jam last night. Like there's all kinds of stuff I want to do. And it can be overwhelming even for things that you actually enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually listening to this this podcast, this Dharma talk on the way in today. I was talking about enough, the concept of enough, and figuring out what that means, what that feels like for you. And it's a really difficult concept, I think, but especially in our society, which is very focused on more and more and more, and doing more and being more and getting more done. And I think it's very difficult to come to terms with what feels like enough for you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a tough, I think it's a lifelong process for everyone.
Yeah. Well, because enough changes, it shifts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's a challenge. I'm sure you guys all identify with this. All right. Well, what's something that you are enjoying lately that you want to recommend to people?
I've been rereading a book that I have previously read called Raising Good Humans. If you're a parent, I recommend this book. It's a book about mindfulness and parenting and about like breaking the cycle of like reactiveness.
Mm-hmm.
And when your child is doing something that is maybe like upsetting to you, questioning whether it's a you problem or a them problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think it's if you grew up in a household that had like a lot of reactiveness and you're trying to like unlearn that, honestly, I feel like maybe non-parents could benefit from it too, because it's just about like respectfully interacting with people.
Yeah.
And I think it's really good. I read it like maybe a year ago, and I'm rereading it with my husband right now.
Mm-hmm. Reminds me of the concept of nonviolent communication.
Yeah.
Yeah. Similar. Yeah, I think it's probably good for everybody to understand different contexts, with kids, with other adults, with yourself. Even.
Yeah, totally. And I'm entering this like Charlie's beginning kindergarten, and I'm beginning this like new chapter of like parenting, which is she hasn't been a toddler for a while, but she's been in this like kind of kid to school age limbo.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we're like entering like a whole new arena, and I just wanted to reread it to feel like a little bit better resourced.
Yeah. Another thing that keeps changing. Children.
Yeah, as soon as you figure it out, it changes. And that's like parenthood in a nutshell. It's life in a nutshell, really.
Yeah. Well, the thing that I would like to recommend to people, so I don't think I mentioned this last month, but it's something that I've been getting a lot of use out of, which is an app called, it's a website, and I think they actually now have an app called Eat Your Books. I don't think I mentioned this before. If I did, I apologize. But basically what it is a place you can put in all the cookbooks you own. So you basically make a list of all the cookbooks you have on your shelf, and it's indexed tens of thousands of cookbooks and doesn't have the recipes themselves, but it has all the ingredients from the recipes. So you can then search recipes in the cookbooks that you own. So if you, for example, have figs, you bought figs at the store and you don't know what to do with them, you can do a search on there on your own cookbook shelf for figs and see all the recipes for figs in the cookbooks you already own. This is great for me because I own a ton of cookbooks. Like I have a big collection of cookbooks. I love to cook, and I found myself not using them as much as I would like because I would just look at Pinterest and find something that related to what I had in the fridge or what was in season. So this has been a way for me to use recipes that I've from the cookbooks that I just already love, and from cookbook authors that I really love. And it's been really great. It was so great that my mom gave me this very niche cookbook for my birthday which is about quince because I have a quince tree. So it's called Simply Quince, and it's by I think the author is Armenian, I want to say. I think she has an Armenian name. So there's a lot of recipes from that region of the world, which I love that cuisine. And I was looking through it and I was like, oh, well, they don't have it in Eat Your Books because it's such a niche cookbook. And I found that you could actually volunteer to index books for them. So I did. This was a project. I ended up spending hours indexing this cookbook for them. I volunteered for it, and then they send me an email. I was like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And then they send me like this 60-page guide to exactly how to do it and all the rules, which of course they have to have because they need to have everything indexed in the same way.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, this is a project. So the other night I spent like 2 hours finishing indexing this cookbook. And then Ken pointed out, you really don't need that in your app because if you need a quince recipe, to go to the quince cookbook. Like you don't have, so like you have multiple quince cookbooks.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I guess you're right. I didn't really need to do this at all. Yeah. It was a good illustration of my tendency to commit to things that are not really that necessary, but seem like a good idea at the time and then regret it later.
I feel that.
Yeah. I'm not really good at like projecting myself into the future. I'm always taking on more than necessary. All right. So what is something, for our next question, you really want to sew, but it isn't in the cards for you right now?
Ooh. What is something I want to sew? I think I would really, as I'm like starting to like mood board and conceptualize fall a little bit, I'd really love to sew a coat. But I just don't. I think that if I were to commit to that, it would be a commitment to not sew anything else.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of coats that I really like to wear. So I think that it's an idea that I'm going to table for a while. I think that in the season I'm in right now, I go back and forth between wanting bigger and smaller projects. I think that I would be better served by a couple smaller projects for the fall.
Yeah.
So that's my sadly will not be sewing item. What about you?
Yeah, I have a lot of projects queued up for fall. I really enjoy fall sewing and I had a lot of ideas. So I have a lot of projects in the hopper right now. But I started a mood board for winter already because I have ideas for things I would like to make in the winter. So I have this faux fur coat from the 60s that I really, really like. It's like just a big, fluffy, cream-colored faux fur coat, which what I like about it is I think it looks really cool. It goes with a lot of things. It's also super, super warm. And I've been thinking about making something for myself in that vein. Even though I have the vintage one, it has bracelet-length sleeves, which is not ideal for winter.
Yeah.
And so I would like to make kind of a faux shearling coat for winter, something fuzzy and just super, super warm and cozy. So I'm thinking about doing that next season. And I started doing some mood boards for it, but that's in the future. That's not on the cards right now.
Yeah, on hold.
Yeah. I also found this really beautiful fabric on Etsy that it's like a tulle and then it has little black flocked polka dots on it. And I think it's like a nude colored tulle, like it's like a light beigey tulle. And I thought it was really cool and I want to make something with it, but I don't know what. So that'll be, maybe that seems more wintry anyway. Maybe like Christmas dress or something like that.
Yeah, I was just thinking.
Yeah.
I can envision lots of things for a holiday. I love a special occasion dress.
Yeah. I think it'd be really pretty in like a ruche top too. Sort of like a fancy top. So
that'd be so cute.
Yeah.
Or even like a little fitted turtleneck.
Yeah, that would be pretty. Yeah. Or even like a yoke for a turtleneck. I used to have one like that. That was it was like a black turtleneck and then it had this lacy yoke on it. It was really pretty. I loved that top. That was like 20 years ago.
I could just ping pong ideas with this fabric all day long. It's my favorite game.
All right. One more thing I want to share before we move into what's new at Seamwork right now and do a little behind the scenes with you guys, which is a tool / notion of the month. We wanted to share a tool or notion that we think you guys, if you're not using it now, you might want to get some of this and share a few different uses for it as well. And that is Wonder Tape. I don't know if you guys already have Wonder Tape in your stash, but if you don't, I have been using it for everything lately, and I absolutely love Wonder Tape. So Wonder Tape is a double-sided tape that you can use to basically do sort of like basting with it. You can use it to stick hems down before you sew them. And the great thing about it is that it dissolves in the wash. So it's a temporary tape, temporary adhesive. But there are lots of other uses for it besides hems and just holding hems in place. So right now I'm wearing a lilac dress that I made, and I added a bunch of extra buttons to it. And when I was sewing on all these buttons, so it's got, 20, 21 buttons, something like that, I used Wonder Tape to hold the buttons in place when I was sewing them on my machine, and it worked so well. I was a little afraid that they would fall off because there were just so many of them, and it was moving around so much, but it held them in place exactly where I wanted them, so I have no crooked buttons, made sewing them a breeze. So that's another great use for Wonder Tape. You can also use it to hold pockets and other kind of stick-on elements in place before you sew them. So basically, if you don't want to spend time basting things, but you want things to be precise, Wonder Tape is great for that. You can use it to stabilize knit hems so they don't stretch out while you're sewing them. I use it for that all the time. Basically anywhere basting would be handy. You can use Wonder Tape. So if you don't have it, and there are other forms, it doesn't have to be Wonder Tape. Wonder Tape is the Clover brand. There are other tapes like this that you can get. I think Walwack has one. Might be a little bit cheaper, but they're out there.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It's a must.
It is a must.
Well, let's get into some of the stuff that's new at Seamwork right now. I'm going to kick us off with our new patterns. Coming out this month, we have Brom, which is a shirt dress that has these really cool, unique pleated sleeves. The bodice and the skirt portion of the dress are pretty classic. It's fitted throughout the bust and the waist, and it has bust and waist darts. It has an A-line skirt that hits just below the knee, a stand collar, and a center front placket with buttons. And the skirt also has princess seams on the front and the back just for, fabric usage reasons. But the sleeve is what makes it really unique and special. It has a deep box pleat at the sleeve cap and then a knife pleat that's secured by buttons at the sleeve hem. And it's just like really cool and structural. We're gearing up for the photo shoot right now, and I can't wait to share it with everyone. Another thing I love about it is that the hems are secured with a blind hem, so it gives you an opportunity to really practice a new skill.
I just bought a blind hem foot, so I want to put blind hems on everything.
Yeah, it's such a fun technique to learn how to do on your machine, and most home sewing machines will do it, and a special foot can make it a lot easier, but you don't necessarily even need one.
No.
And then to accompany that, we have the Cosmo blouse. Brom being a shirt dress is a little bit more of like a time investment, so I knew I wanted to pair that with something that could be like a little bit more of a quick and easy project. And that's one of the inspirations behind Cosmo. It's a pullover blouse with a flat lay style collar. It's kind of semi-fitted throughout while still being pullover, so you don't have to fuss with any buttons or zippers or closures. It has gathered sleeves with an elastic casing at the hem, and it has that flat lay collar, but it's a nice deep V neckline. So if you aren't into higher necklines, it's really a great option for you to still be able to play with a collar, but have that lower neckline. It has center front and back seams, or a center front seam and then an elastic a little elastic shaping at the small of the back at the waist, which is really lovely. And then bust darts for shaping as well. And the member bonus for Cosmo adds ties and a modesty placket to the center front. So you can wear it like as a layering piece or as like a little flirty little tie front top.
Yeah, it's so cute. And I love that elastic shaping at the back because it just makes it easier to tuck it in, too, when everything is kind of held in place around your waist.
Yeah, totally. It really makes it nice to tuck and also ensures that you still have a little bit of shaping, even if you choose not to tuck it in, too.
Yeah, and it's comfy.
Yeah.
It keeps it comfy. All right. Well, I wanted to share a few things that I've been working on our YouTube channel. So actually, one thing, we mentioned blind hems. We have a really great video about doing blind hems. So if that's something that you want to learn how to do or get a little refresher on, check out our YouTube channel because we did a video not too long ago all about blind hems. And I talk about doing it with the foot and doing it without the foot. So whether you have a blind hem foot or not. Actually, these shades that I'm making have a blind hem. I was reading through the instructions and I saw that it had a blind hem on the bottom. I was like, yes, I can do a blind hem. I love them. I just think they look amazing. They're just really satisfying to do, especially you're doing it by machine and yet you cannot see it on the front. It's like magic. The other things I wanted to share, videos that are on our YouTube channel. So this week on YouTube, we have a video called Never Struggle with Plackets Again, the easy method. So if you're interested in learning more about sewing plackets, if you want to make that Brahms shirt dress and you have struggled with plackets in the past, check out that video. Lots of great tips there so you can use it. The previous video we did was all about sewing linings. So if you're interested in learning more about sewing linings and getting some tips and tricks there, we have a great video about that from last week too. And we also have a workshop coming up, one of our skills workshops on sewing bagged lining. So if you're thinking about making a jacket or a coat for fall or for winter, this is a really great chance to learn how to do this technique and how to make bagged linings. And that's taught by Erica, who is our incredible head of education. So if you're interested, Seamwork members can join these workshops for free. We do them every month and you'll learn a new skill along with a whole bunch of other people, have a place to ask questions, and you get to work it out on a pattern of your own choice. So our last skills workshop was on welt pockets. So if that's something that you're interested in, that's up now and you can either purchase that if you're not a Seamwork member, or you can get it for free if you are a Seamwork member and go through all the materials from the last skills workshop. So that's kind of what's going on here in our world. One other thing that I wanted to mention is that this fall you can actually get a free pattern, which is our Ames blouse, which is one of my favorite patterns, and it's totally free for fall. So Ames is a romantic, oversized button-up blouse. It has raglan sleeves, has front and back gathers, a lined curved yoke. I really love that yoke because it's a great place to play with different techniques, or you can do color blocking, you could do lace. The one I made, I did it in linen and I did whitework embroidery along the yoke. It's just so, so pretty. It has a band collar, elastic at the sleeve hem, and then little buttons down the front. It's beautiful. It has a lot of gathers, so it's really voluminous and romantic, and it's just really fun to play with. So if you're interested in that, we will put a link to that in the show notes, in the description, or if you go to seamwork.com, you'll be able to find it there and download it for free. And if you like this episode, please leave us a review. You can also follow us on YouTube at Seamwork Video. I mentioned a few videos we have up there right now. Definitely check that out and give us a follow. You can also follow us on Instagram at Seamwork. And of course, if you'd like to become part of the Seamwork community, head over to seamwork.com to learn how to join, and you'll get tons of patterns, lots of community, and of course, those skills workshops that I mentioned just a minute ago. And that's it for us this week. I'm Sarai.
And I'm Haley.
And this is Seamwork Radio.